Hey guys, welcome to the weekly breakdown. This week we are breaking down a performance of Insignia by Eric Ross. This is a really good effect. I really highly recommend this if you do any type of street magic or magic at school or at the cafeteria, at work, or wherever you are. I really highly recommend this. This is a very good in the moment, hey, let me just grab something and do an effect with it type effect. So again, Eric Ross has a lot of good work out there, and this is definitely one of those really neat effects. Last week I asked you guys to comment and say what videos you would wanted, and no one said anything. So to further make you guys want to comment and say what trick I should do or any suggestions, the best suggestion I see either on YouTube or at bdeceive.com will win a deck of the style deck from Be Deceived. So you'll win a style deck from Be Deceived, whoever has the best comment from this week, and I'll announce that winner and we'll send you out at when we actually get the decks in January. So that's that, so keep that in mind, and let's go over this effect. I'm doing this at school a little long, like a year ago or so. I have him select the card. Okay. In this case, he takes the Ace of Spades. I don't know if you guys can see that. Ace of Spades, perfect. All right. And he puts it in there. We'll tell him to put it anywhere he wants, which he does. Now here, at this certain group of people, this is pretty much like a heckler episode type thing. Both of these guys have done magic before. These guys are really difficult. They are the guys that, there's always those people who burn your hands and who are looking for something. And this is an effect where, people are looking for something they're really honestly not going to find it. So this is one of those effects that I really wanted to do, and I don't really recommend you do magic for these types of people because they're just going to make it difficult for you. They're just trying to be difficult. But if you do have an effect that uses very basic sleights or very basic in general, I like to, and then maybe that's just me, I like to just do things that make them, make it a little more difficult for them and just kind of mess with them a little bit. So I tell him to think of his card in his mind. And another thing is, boom, I have a bottle. And with this effect, it uses everyday objects. You're ringing something in that looks ordinary, which is very, very, very important in your magic. And keep that in mind. Ordinary is much more organic. It's much more real, and people are going to connect a lot more with that than they would with a shiny box with a scarf. Different colored scarves coming out of it. It's gonna be much more relatable. It's much more real, and if you're gonna make magic with the ordinary, it's so much more stronger and so much more real. So keep that in mind. Again, when you do bring in those objects that are everyday objects, try and make it as natural and as real as possible. In this case, I took this out of the trash can before I started the effect, and then I set it on the ground. So now, of course, my phone went off, which was nice. Again, I just didn't really let that distract from magic. I just kind of threw it away. I told him to rub on the bottle with his hand. Again, when the spectator is involved in the trick, it's going to be a lot stronger because he feels like he's doing the magic. And then you can see it says Ace of Spades on the Mountain Dew label. So this is really, really strong magic for a couple points. One is, it's something that the spectator is touching. Two, it's an everyday object. So there are two really strong things to your performance to make sure you perform with everyday objects as much as you can. It makes you a lot more legit. I know the other day I was out with a couple of friends, and they're like, hey, do some magic. I didn't know this guy has never seen you do magic. And I was like, well, I don't really have anything with me. And then I did about 45 minutes to an hour worth of magic, with nothing, apparently. Of course, I had a couple things in my wallet that I always carry with me, and then I asked them afterwards. I was like, yeah, sorry guys, I know I didn't really have anything. They're like, no, that makes it so much more magical and makes it so much more real, and you have a lot more respect for you that way. If you really don't feel like you're carrying anything and you just kind of do it off the cuff, it becomes a lot more real for those people. So keep that in mind. Another thing is, what did I say? I said for real or for people and hecklers. Hecklers. If you have hecklers, always if you want to do an effect for them, because they'll ask you and they'll bug you. Just do something that's really simple. In this case, this is a very simple effect, but it's very cool in my opinion. And it won't fit everyone's style. I understand that, but for my style and the type of work I do, and the restaurant I do, they actually sell these bottles when you buy a drink, so it makes sense for me to have that there. But again, yes, it's also really cool to bring in everyday objects, but if it doesn't make sense for that everyday object to be there, then don't just add it into there for no reason, or it'll look stupid and they'll be like, why is that there? So, alright, well, I'll talk to you guys next week, and have a good week.